Hey, this is Christina, the AmputeeOT, and today I'm going to talk about shrinkers. A shrinker, as you've probably guessed, is a device used to shrink things. Specifically, it's a device that is used to shrink your residual limb. There are a lot of reasons that you want your residual limb to be as small as possible. When you first have your surgery, your limb swells up. A prosthesis usually consists of a socket that goes over your residual limb, and you want that to match the size of your residual limb as closely as possible so that you have a good fit between your limb and your prosthetic. One of the ways that prosthetists get as close a fit as possible is by making sure your limb is at a stable volume before they cast you for your first prosthesis. One of the ways to do that is through what's called a shrinker, or a shrinker sock. There are more or less two main types of shrinker socks. You have this long kind that has a ring in the center that can be slid up and down, or you have this kind which is more form-fitting and shaped to your limb. And there are different ways to use each. They also come in different sizes to adapt for the different shapes that you have in your residual limb. You don't have to wear a sock when you use your shrinker, but I like to because the socks are comfortable. I like to wear a sock under my shrinkers, but you don't necessarily have to. I usually do just because I think it's really comfortable. When you're using a shrinker, first thing you want to do is, if you're using a sock, to put on your sock and make sure there aren't any wrinkles or creases in the end of your leg before you put it on. Now this kind, you put on like this, and you can bring it up to here or you can bring it all the way down to here depending on your preference. And then you take this little ring at the end and you pull it down tight. And then you put the other end over. Now, it might sound like a really good idea to maybe use some extra layers or to use shrinkers that are maybe a little bit too small so that it can fit really tight, but you don't really want to do that. These shrinkers are designed to deliver a certain amount of pressure, and any amount of pressure over that is not therapeutic and can actually be detrimental because it can cause skin breakdown. This is the other kind. I find this kind a little harder to get on because it's harder to get the wrinkles out of the very end. You kind of have to work it on there. There, that looks good. Those are the main two types of shrinkers. This is a liner. A liner is used as an interface between your residual limb and your socket. There are different kinds, but this kind has a fabric cover on the outside and there's gel on the inside. You put a liner on by reversing it. Pressing it onto the end of your leg and then rolling it on, making sure there are no air bubbles. And then you put your pants back on that you had to take off because you couldn't get your liner off without taking your pants off. There are a couple of important things to remember when you're using liners and shrinkers. First, if you wear a sock underneath your shrinker, you'll want to change your sock at least once a day, even if it looks and smells clean. If you're using shrinkers, you'll want to use your shrinkers only for one night and then clean them the next day. Hopefully your prosthetist will give you more than one, otherwise it would be kind of hard. And you'll definitely want to rotate between your shrinkers if you've got more than one, because they kind of wear out really fast. They're sort of made of elastic, stretchy material, and the more you wear them, the more they stretch out and the easier they are to put on, but the less therapeutic they are because they don't offer quite as much compression. These ones wear out really fast compared to these ones. If you're wearing a shrinker and you notice that your limb is starting to hurt a whole lot, then there might be too much pressure from the shrinker on your limb, and the best thing that I've found is just take everything off and wait 5 or 10 minutes and then put it back on. Sometimes it just is kind of pulling on your leg in a certain way and it gets uncomfortable. But I generally find that these things are really comfortable to wear. The only other problem I have with these things is that they tend to slide off my knee, so I've woken up in the middle of the night and had my shrinker almost entirely off of me, which obviously kind of defeats the purpose, which is why now that I'm able to tolerate a liner, I prefer to wear the liner all the time. If you're a new amputee, I cannot stress this enough. No, really, look at me in the eye. I cannot stress this enough. You need to wear your shrinkers all the time. Like, if you're taking a bath, you shouldn't wear your shrinkers. But basically, whenever you're not taking a bath, you need to wear your shrinkers. That will get your limb down to a manageable size as quickly as possible so that you'll be able to get fitted for your prosthetic as quickly as possible. And I know you want to get fitted for your prosthetic as quickly as possible, because who doesn't? My prosthetist and my doctor are both very impressed with the way my limb looks, and I contributed to wearing my stump shrinkers at all times unless I'm taking a bath. And really, it's not like they're that uncomfortable, so just wear them. It's important. Alright guys, that's all for now. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them below in the comments section. Also, if you're so inclined, you can subscribe to my channel where I try to put out videos every week, sometimes 2 a week, so have a good one.